My beloved child, there are moments that pass quietly through the world, unnoticed by most people, yet they carry the power to change everything. Today, I need you to listen carefully because something has happened behind the scenes that directly involves you. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is not an ordinary message. It is not a coincidence that you found these words at this exact moment. There is a reason your eyes landed here today. There is a reason your heart feels drawn to keep listening. A secret meeting has just ended, and your name was spoken more times than you could imagine. While you were focused on your daily responsibilities, while you were wondering why certain doors remained closed, while you questioned whether anyone truly understood your journey, conversations were taking place that you knew nothing about. The surprising part is not that the meeting happened. The surprising part is what happened when it ended. Someone walked out with tears in their eyes. Someone left carrying emotions they could no longer hide. And before you assume you know why, stay with me because the truth is far deeper than anyone expected. There are people who have watched your journey from a distance. They have seen your patience when nobody applauded. They have seen your strength when nobody offered support. They have witnessed your determination even during moments when you felt completely alone. What shocked everyone in that room was not your struggle. It was your persistence. Most people would have stopped long ago. Most people would have given up when answers failed to arrive. Most people would have abandoned their path after facing the same obstacles repeatedly. Yet somehow, you kept moving. You kept believing. You kept showing up. And that became the center of the discussion. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the person who walked away in tears was not overwhelmed by weakness. They were overwhelmed by realization. For the first time, they saw the full picture. For the first time, they understood what your journey truly cost. For the first time, they realized how much you carried without recognition. As the meeting unfolded, different voices shared different observations. Some spoke about your resilience. Others spoke about your character. Some remembered moments that seemed small at the time but now appeared significant. Piece by piece, a story emerged. It was the story of someone who refused to let circumstances define their future. It was the story of someone who kept growing even when growth felt invisible. It was the story of someone who continued planting seeds despite seeing no immediate harvest. That story was your story. And the more they talked, the clearer it became that your impact was larger than anyone realized. What you considered ordinary actions had created extraordinary effects. What you dismissed as insignificant had influenced more people than you know. The room became quiet as this understanding settled over everyone. That silence was not empty. It was filled with astonishment. Now listen carefully because this is where everything changes. The tears that appeared at the end of the meeting were connected to a revelation. Someone suddenly understood that they had underestimated you. They had misjudged your strength. They had failed to see your value because they were looking through the wrong lens. They thought your quiet seasons meant nothing was happening. They thought your patience was weakness. They thought your humility meant you lacked importance. Then the truth appeared. The truth arrived all at once, and it hit harder than anyone expected. In a single moment, years of misunderstanding collapsed. Years of assumptions disappeared. What remained was clarity. Pure clarity. And that clarity brought emotion that could no longer be hidden. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the most important detail has not been revealed yet. During the final moments of the meeting, a question was asked. It was a simple question, yet it changed the entire atmosphere. The question was this: what happens next? Suddenly the conversation shifted away from the past and focused on the future. The discussion was no longer about what you had endured. It became about what was approaching. The energy in the room changed. The tone changed. The expectations changed. Because everyone realized they were not looking at someone who had reached the end of a story. They were looking at someone standing at the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter larger than anything that came before. What makes this chapter different is that it carries momentum. Everything you experienced before prepared the foundation. Every lesson mattered. Every delay mattered. Every disappointment taught something necessary. Even the moments that felt unfair served a purpose you could not yet see. Imagine building a structure. The strongest parts are often hidden beneath the surface. People admire what rises above ground, but they rarely appreciate the foundation underneath. Your foundation has been forming for a long time. That is why the meeting became emotional. They finally recognized how much had been built beneath the surface. They finally saw the preparation that was invisible to everyone else. There is another detail that must be shared. Throughout the meeting, one theme appeared again and again. It was impossible to ignore. No matter who spoke, the conversation kept returning to the same conclusion. You are closer than you think. Closer to understanding. Closer to clarity. Closer to opportunities. Closer to answers. Closer to breakthroughs. The distance between where you are and where you are meant to be is smaller than it appears. The challenge is that progress often becomes hardest to recognize right before a major shift occurs. Many people quit because they mistake temporary silence for permanent failure. They assume nothing is changing when, in reality, everything is preparing to change. The person who walked out in tears understood this. That realization became overwhelming. They recognized that while many people only noticed visible results, the real transformation had already been happening inside you. Your perspective changed. Your wisdom increased. Your endurance expanded. Your understanding deepened. Those are not small developments. Those are life-changing developments. And once they saw that, they could not remain emotionally detached. The truth touched them deeply because it revealed how powerful your journey had become. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is still one final thought that echoed through the room after everyone else finished speaking. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. Yet it carried more weight than anything else said that day. Someone quietly stated that your story is far from over. In fact, they believed the most remarkable part has not happened yet. Imagine hearing those words after everything you have already endured. Imagine realizing that the chapters behind you are not the peak of the story. Imagine discovering that the greatest moments still lie ahead. That possibility filled the room with anticipation. As the meeting officially ended, people stood up slowly. Conversations continued in smaller groups. Reflections lingered in the air. Yet one image remained unforgettable. The person walking toward the door, wiping away tears, carrying a truth they could no longer deny. Those tears were not about loss. They were about understanding. They were about seeing your value clearly. They were about recognizing a journey that deserved far more appreciation than it received. And perhaps most importantly, they were about realizing that something significant is approaching your life. So hear this clearly. Do not let temporary uncertainty convince you that nothing is happening. Do not allow delays to make you doubt your direction. Do not allow silence to erase your confidence. The meeting is over. The discussion has ended. The conclusions have been reached. And the message that emerged from it all is simple. You matter more than you know. Your journey carries more meaning than you realize. Your story has touched more lives than you can see. And the chapter ahead holds possibilities greater than your current imagination can fully understand. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this is not the conclusion. This is only the beginning of a revelation that is still unfolding. The secret meeting may have ended, but the impact of what was discovered there is only starting to be felt. And as the days ahead continue to unfold, one truth will become impossible to ignore: the story they discussed was never about limitations. It was always about potential. And that potential is only beginning to reveal itself. A remarkable truth is about to unfold, and this next part of the story may be the most surprising revelation yet. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The secret meeting may have officially ended, but the conversations that followed outside that room became even more powerful. What happened after everyone stood up was something nobody expected. As people walked away, they carried new thoughts, new questions, and a completely different understanding of who you truly are. One person could not stop thinking about what had been discussed. Long after the meeting ended, they replayed every word in their mind. They remembered the moments that others had mentioned. They remembered the challenges you overcame. They remembered the obstacles that should have stopped you but somehow did not. The more they thought about it, the more emotional they became. It was as if a hidden picture was finally becoming clear. For years, they had only seen pieces of the puzzle. Now they could see the entire image. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The strange thing is that this realization did not happen all at once. It happened layer by layer. Every memory connected to another memory. Every observation connected to another observation. And eventually a shocking conclusion appeared. You were never ordinary. You were never average. You were never meant to blend into the crowd. Even during seasons when nobody noticed your effort, something significant was being developed within you. Many people only pay attention to visible success. They celebrate what they can immediately see. But very few people understand the value of hidden preparation. Hidden preparation does not attract attention. Hidden preparation rarely receives applause. Yet hidden preparation creates extraordinary outcomes. That was one of the biggest discoveries discussed during the meeting. While others focused on appearances, your greatest growth was happening where nobody could see it. Think about that for a moment. Every challenge that tested your patience was quietly strengthening you. Every delay was teaching you something valuable. Every closed door redirected your path toward something better. At the time, none of it made sense. At the time, it felt confusing. But now, looking backward, the pattern is becoming impossible to ignore. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As these thoughts spread from person to person, a new discussion began. It was no longer about your past. It was about your future. Questions started filling the room. What opportunities are coming? What changes are approaching? Why does it feel like everything is lining up at exactly the right time? Nobody had all the answers, but everyone agreed on one thing. Something is shifting. Sometimes the biggest moments in life arrive quietly. There are no flashing signs. There are no dramatic announcements. Instead, there is simply a feeling that something important is getting closer. The people in that meeting felt that feeling strongly. They could not explain it completely, but they knew they were witnessing the beginning of something meaningful. One person finally spoke up and shared a thought that changed everything. They said that your story reminded them of a seed planted deep beneath the ground. For a long time, nobody sees anything. Weeks pass. Months pass. Sometimes even longer. People assume nothing is happening. Yet beneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is developing. Preparation is taking place. Then one day, what was invisible suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. The room became silent. Because everyone understood the comparison. They were talking about you. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. At that moment, another realization appeared. Many of the difficulties you faced were not signs that you were moving in the wrong direction. They were signs that you were being prepared for something greater. If the journey had been easy, you would not have developed the wisdom you now possess. If every door had opened immediately, you would not have gained the understanding you carry today. If every answer had arrived instantly, you would not have learned patience. Everything had a purpose. Everything contributed to the person you are becoming. Everything mattered. The person who walked away in tears finally understood this. Their emotions were not caused by sadness. Their emotions were caused by clarity. They realized that your journey contained meaning they had completely overlooked. They realized that your persistence was extraordinary. They realized that your future might be far brighter than anyone had imagined. And then something happened that nobody saw coming. As people prepared to leave, one final statement was made. It was simple. It was quiet. Yet it carried enormous weight. Someone said, "The best chapter has not started yet." The words hung in the air. Nobody argued. Nobody disagreed. Because deep down, everyone felt the same thing. The story is still unfolding. The most important pages have not been written yet. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing on a mountain path. You have climbed for a long time. You are tired. You are uncertain. You wonder whether the effort is worth it. Then suddenly someone points ahead and says that the summit is much closer than you think. Everything changes. The distance feels shorter. The struggle feels lighter. The journey feels meaningful again. That is the message emerging from this story. You may not see every answer today. You may not understand every detail today. You may not know exactly how everything will unfold. But the signs are becoming clearer. The pieces are coming together. The preparation is reaching completion. The momentum is increasing. And the people who once doubted are beginning to see what they missed. There is something powerful about being underestimated. While others focus elsewhere, growth continues quietly. While others make assumptions, strength continues developing. While others stop paying attention, transformation continues happening. Then one day the results appear, and everyone wonders how it happened. The truth is that it did not happen overnight. It happened one step at a time. One lesson at a time. One challenge at a time. One victory at a time. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the final lights in that meeting room turned off and the doors closed behind everyone, there was one thought that remained stronger than all the others. It was not a prediction. It was not a guess. It was a conviction. The conviction was this: you have come too far to stop now. You have grown too much to turn back now. You have learned too much to doubt yourself now. And whatever is coming next has the potential to surprise not only the people around you, but even you. The meeting may have ended. The discussion may be over. But the impact of what was revealed there is only beginning. And as the next chapter starts to unfold, more people will begin to understand what that emotional moment truly meant. Because those tears were never about an ending. They were about a realization. A realization that your story is far more important than anyone imagined. A realization that your journey still contains extraordinary chapters. A realization that something remarkable is getting closer with every passing day. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. A new realization began to spread after the meeting ended, and what happened next became impossible to ignore. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The people who were present thought they had already heard the most important part of the discussion. They believed the biggest revelation had already been shared. But they were wrong. What came afterward changed everything. Hours passed, yet the conversation continued in the minds of those who attended. Some could not focus on anything else. Others found themselves replaying every detail again and again. There was one question that kept returning no matter how hard they tried to move on. Why did everything about your journey feel different from everyone else's? Why did your story carry such unusual weight? Why did it seem as though every challenge, every delay, every unexpected turn was leading towards something larger? The more they thought about it, the clearer the answer became. Your story was never just about surviving difficult moments. Your story was about becoming someone stronger because of them. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One individual from the meeting sat quietly for a long time after everyone left. They stared out a window and reflected on everything they had heard. Suddenly they remembered a detail that nobody else had mentioned. It seemed small at first, almost insignificant. Yet the more they thought about it, the more powerful it became. They realized that every time life placed an obstacle in front of you, you found a way to keep moving. Not perfectly. Not easily. But consistently. That consistency became the key. Many people start strong but stop when progress becomes slow. Many people dream big but abandon those dreams when challenges appear. Many people hope for change but lose faith when results take time. Yet somehow, you continued. Even when nobody was watching. Even when nobody was encouraging you. Even when nobody understood what you were carrying. You continued. And that realization struck them deeply. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next morning, discussions about the meeting started again. New thoughts emerged. New perspectives appeared. People who had attended began sharing what impacted them most. Interestingly, almost everyone focused on a different detail. One remembered your patience. Another remembered your resilience. Another remembered your willingness to keep believing despite uncertainty. Yet all of those observations pointed toward the same conclusion. There is something extraordinary about a person who refuses to quit. That conclusion echoed through every conversation. As these reflections continued, another shocking realization surfaced. Many of the things you considered weaknesses had actually become strengths. The moments that made you feel overlooked had taught humility. The seasons that felt lonely had developed independence. The delays that frustrated you had created wisdom. What appeared to be setbacks were quietly building qualities that could not have been developed any other way. Nobody saw it while it was happening. Not even you. But now the pattern is visible. Now the pieces connect. Now the story makes sense. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then something happened that nobody expected. One person shared an observation that instantly changed the atmosphere. They said, "What if the reason everything feels different now is because a turning point has already begun?" The room became silent. That question carried tremendous weight. Because sometimes the biggest changes do not begin when circumstances change. Sometimes they begin when perspective changes. And your perspective has been changing. You see things differently now. You understand things differently now. You approach challenges differently now. You respond to obstacles differently now. That growth matters more than most people realize. The strongest transformations often happen internally before they become visible externally. That truth became impossible to ignore. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the discussion deepened, another memory surfaced. Someone remembered a moment when others doubted you. Someone remembered a season when people underestimated your potential. Someone remembered a time when your progress seemed invisible. Yet here you are. Still moving forward. Still growing. Still becoming stronger. Still refusing to surrender your vision. That fact alone amazed everyone. Because it proved something important. Your strength was never dependent on recognition. Your determination was never dependent on applause. Your progress was never dependent on approval. You continued because something deeper was driving you forward. And that realization inspired everyone who heard it. There was a feeling in the room that words could barely describe. A sense that something significant was approaching. A sense that preparation was giving way to opportunity. A sense that the waiting season was slowly transforming into a revealing season. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing before a sunrise. The horizon still appears dark. The night seems endless. Yet if you look carefully, the first light has already appeared. The day has already begun. Even though the full brightness has not arrived yet. That image perfectly described the conclusion many people reached about your journey. The full picture may not be visible yet. The final outcome may not have arrived yet. The greatest opportunities may still be approaching. But signs are appearing. Momentum is building. Change is unfolding. And the evidence is becoming harder to ignore. The person who walked out in tears understood this more clearly than anyone else. Those tears came from witnessing a truth they could no longer deny. They saw that your story was not defined by what went wrong. They saw that your story was not defined by obstacles. They saw that your story was not defined by delays. Instead, your story was defined by perseverance. And perseverance has a remarkable way of creating outcomes that surprise everyone. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the final reflection settled, one statement remained unforgettable. It was spoken softly. Yet it carried incredible power. Someone said, "The future is going to explain everything." Those words stayed with everyone. Because they understood exactly what it meant. One day, the confusion will make sense. One day, the delays will make sense. One day, the challenges will make sense. One day, the unanswered questions will make sense. The future has a way of revealing why certain chapters had to happen exactly as they did. And when that moment arrives, people will look back and realize that nothing was wasted. Not a single lesson. Not a single challenge. Not a single moment of growth. Everything contributed to the story. Everything contributed to the preparation. Everything contributed to the person you are becoming. The secret meeting may have ended. The conversations may have stopped. The room may be empty. But the realization remains stronger than ever. You are not at the end of the journey. You are standing at the edge of a new beginning. A beginning filled with possibility. A beginning filled with opportunity. A beginning filled with discoveries that have not yet been revealed. And that is why the story continues. That is why anticipation continues growing. That is why people cannot stop thinking about what comes next. Because deep down, they know something remarkable is approaching. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And the next chapter may reveal more than anyone ever expected.